Beginning in March, DC Comics will change Superman's traditional red and blue costume to a new form-fitting bodysuit. The problem with the old costume? Not gay enough. What the hell's going on in the country? That's not Superman.
Hey everybody, this is Perch, and I guess we got just a quick reaction video to this Superman trailer. So, um, I watched this fairly early, and then I went and got my kids, kind of one at a time. My younger daughter, who's 11, my older daughter, who's 14, and tried to get them interested in it. And my thought was they probably would like the trailer because of the dog. I think that a lot of the nostalgia stuff, the theme being done in kind of a heavy metal way. Um, you know, I, I I wasn't sure what to expect, but I thought they would really like the dog. And the reality is they didn't really care much about the dog. The person who was probably most excited to see Crypto in that trailer was my wife. It was like they put in Crypto, and so that was a cute moment. My kids were like, meh. And I'm leading off with this for this review because I think that this is a problem superhero movies have. Now, to give you some context with my children, my younger daughter, who was quite young at the time, really liked Guardians of the Galaxy and really liked Ant-Man and the Wasp. And both of them got reasonably excited with Endgame, although it was a clear moment where I'm getting excited about some of the big kind of comic moments that are coming out and that are kind of concluding this whole era, and that flew right over their heads. But they like some of the humor and stuff. I think the Marvel movie and probably my kids have liked it. My older daughter probably has liked the Spider-Man films probably the best, and she really likes the animation style of the Spider-Verse, the Miles movies. My younger daughter really liked WandaVision and likes some of those, but as I talk to their friends, there's been birthday parties and the subject of Marvel comes up. The kids are just looking at this stuff very differently. And the Superman movie, it needs to appeal, kind of like the original Superman, the Christopher Reeves film. That brought a lot of people who are not comic fans into the theaters, into loving Superman. And for lack of a better word, it brought a lot of normies in who were excited to see this character and kind of the wonder of, you will believe a man who can fly. And in this new one, my feeling is it's going to appeal to comic fans. I mean, they've got enough Easter eggs in there. They've got the Max Lord costumes on Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl and that kind of stuff. And I think that the fans, the long term comic collectors are going to have an interest in this, whether they like the character or don't, or whether they ultimately like the movie or don't. They'll have an opinion on it. But the question is, will the normies, will the kids have an opinion on it? And it's unclear. I saw the excitement in my daughter when Dogman, and Dogman's now a book that is, that is under her. She's especially my older daughter. She's evolved way past that. She's liking Dan to Dan a lot. So she's out of the target demographic for Dogman, but still, she was very excited by that trailer. And so it was surprising to me that there wasn't more excitement from the kids. And I just lead off from that because I think there's trouble brewing in comic movies in general, and probably for the Superman movie, if it can't get the same kind of audience that Christopher Reeve Superman did. So that's my take on it. So for actually, what did I think of the trailer? It was fine. Um, this is, I know, going to be the most Perch take ever in all this, but I didn't find it amazing. I didn't find it terrible. I found it solid. But my takeaway was, if you got AI to do a Superman trailer, this is what it would look like. It would look just like this. So it lacked. I mean, it's hard to say. It lacked heart. And that's probably a weird review for somebody who's saying, hey, you've got the John Williams theme kind of redone there. And you've got some things that were just done perfectly. And that there were some that looked really good. You saw some characters that, you haven't seen on a big screen before, and that's exciting. It hints toward that larger kind of DC universe that will appeal to a collector like me. But it also felt like, okay, we got Superman in jeopardy. okay, for me, probably the best surprise and happy moment was Crypto. He looked like a cute little pup. The scene of Superman saving the girl from the stuff was cinematically looked amazing. It also looked like kind of playing with heartstrings a little bit. It will need to do more than just here's some Superman, superhero moments. That said, Clark Kent, Superman looks fine. I saw a bunch of people saying online that, oh my God, he looks completely different as Superman. This one is the Clark Kent disguise is actually perfect. No, it doesn't. It looks like the same guy. What are you talking about? Lois Lane, again, we're not hearing her talk or anything else, but the visual of Lois Lane, pitch perfect. Like down to the slight little smirk. That looks real good. The Superman costume, yeah, it looks good. I'm neither here nor there on the trunks. I think it's nice to see them comic accurate, so that's fine. But looks good. No complaints. Lex Luthor, I don't know. I feel like they never get Lex Luthor quite right, or I'm just the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor is always going to be the one for me. Lex always seems too young in these things. Like I think we need an older Lex Luthor. That doesn't seem quite right. Guy Gardner, on one hand, the problem with some of these characters, both Guy Gardner and Hot Girl, you see her for all of a second. It looks cheap. It looks like the costumes. The costumes don't look substantive. I don't know. They're not, again, not bad. Like it's not like some of the bad Sony movies or Birds of Prey level of cheap, but I don't know. The haircut on poor Nathan Fillion, I mean, it looks like a Kevin Maguire drawing. So, I'm up for that. We'll see. Um, I think, overall, it felt fine. I'm looking at the trailer right now as I'm recording this. You can't. The funny thing is, I have a hard time unless you're a big Superman fan or you're excited to see the new DCU. I can't really see anybody getting overly psyched and excited about this. Some sure. On the other hand, I've seen some other people like, oh my god, it's so woke. I don't know what in the hell you're talking about there. I mean, literally, there's a black guy in it. Is that? I mean, unfortunately, that's not where you want to go with this stuff because I think the issue of race has just been overdone to death. But at some point, you're like, was somebody just watching this trailer, just hoping to see a hint of a pride flag in a distance as a bumper sticker on a car, and then they're going to cry the whole thing is woke? I mean, that's just what it feels like. I think if you watch this trailer and you're like, oh my god, DCEU, go woke, go broke. If that's your reaction, eh, that's whatever. I mean, it's clearly over at this point if that's what you're doing. There was nothing inherently woke about this trailer. No. There was nothing. I just found the over the top reactions. Both this looks like garbage. This looks like it's got an agenda, or this is the greatest trailer for any movie that has ever been made. I just find both those just feel cartoonishly silly of a reaction, and maybe that's kind of where a lot of the online controversy and stuff started to go for me. It's like you sound like a cartoon. You sound like a parody of yourself. It no longer even feels like it's legitimate outrage or legitimate joy. It just feels like it's like that. Who's that Harry Stinson? Is that the guy named the Democrat influencer who's like, I think Joe Biden is the smartest man in my life. Like, okay, we know you don't believe that. We don't believe you believe that. We know you're getting paid for it. So it's just like you're just an avatar just squawking, and that's where the people who are like, this is the most amazing thing, or this is a most woke thing. You guys are out of your mind. Just stop. You know, my hope is it's a good movie. I you know I have mixed feelings on James Gunn. I always feel like he can't help himself but to do some self-defeating things in the movies, and it feels like we'll get a little bit of that here, but maybe not. You know, um, the visuals look good. Again, there's some elements here that look weirdly cheap for a high budget film and a trailer kicking off the whole DCU. But again, Daily Planet X interior looks great. Lois on board. Oh, Perry White is black. Yeah, he's black in the Zack Snyder films as well. I mean, I don't know. Is that the hill we're gonna die on here? I mean, again, honestly, why? Oh, John Kent. Oh, poor old John Kent. He's bald and fat. Like that was, I guess, the one thing that bothered me the most about, pardon me, about this thing is John Kent. Looks like what the hell? I don't know. I wasn't prepared for tubby, bald, fat John Kent. That was a disappointment. I wasn't prepared for Crypto, a fluffy white, puppy, either, but that one was a pleasant surprise, whereas fat old John Kent was not. Uh, Jonathan Kent, I should say. Yeah, Lex Luthor's too young. I don't know. Just no. Yeah, there's a kaiju, sure. I hope we don't get that. I mean, let I want this movie to be exciting. I want it to be different. I don't want them like, we gets to fight a kaiju. I don't want that silly internet talk in this thing. The scenes with Lois and Superman look quite good. It just there's parts of this that look really nice. Um, the Star Lab stuff, the God, what's the play? And then Superman looks like he's been discredited. People are throwing garbage at his back. I don't know. Um, we'll see. We'll see. But in general, um, you know, I guess it's the launch of the DCU. It's James Gunn's first big movie. I guess I expected there to be more to it. If you're putting a superhero movie out, you make a trailer like this one, and they did, and there's nothing inherently wrong with it. But it also felt like not as big a step forward as I would have expected for all the hype around this film. What do you think, Superman? You in? You out? You love it? No? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Well, thanks for listening.